Hey, have you ever thought about the idea of a uniform civil code in India? I've been reading a bit about it lately, and it seems to be a pretty interesting and debated topic.
Oh, absolutely. The concept of a uniform civil code has been discussed for years now. It's meant to ensure equal rights and treatment for all citizens, irrespective of their religious affiliations. But it's also a complex issue with a lot of perspectives to consider.
Definitely. One of the main arguments in favor of a uniform civil code is that it could help promote gender equality and social justice. Different personal laws based on religion often lead to discrimination against women, particularly in matters like marriage, divorce, and inheritance. A uniform code could potentially address these disparities.
That's true, and I agree that equal treatment is important. But on the other hand, I've also heard concerns that implementing a uniform code could infringe upon the diverse cultural and religious practices in India. Different communities have their own traditions and beliefs that might not align with a single set of laws.
You have a point. India is incredibly diverse, and people have the right to follow their own religious practices. But isn't there a way to strike a balance between preserving cultural diversity and ensuring fundamental rights for all citizens? Maybe a uniform civil code could establish a common framework while allowing for specific cultural practices within certain limits.
Yes, that's an interesting perspective. However, some argue that implementing a uniform code might be seen as imposing a dominant culture on minority communities. This could potentially lead to resistance and further polarization in the society.
I can see how that might be a concern. It's crucial to approach this issue sensitively and involve all stakeholders in the process. Perhaps there could be a way to engage with religious leaders and community representatives to find a common ground and address these concerns.
Absolutely, involving all parties and having open discussions is key. But let's also consider the practical challenges. India is a country with complex legal and administrative systems. Implementing a uniform civil code would require a massive overhaul of existing laws, which could be a lengthy and intricate process.
You're right. It won't be an easy task. However, some argue that having a uniform code could simplify the legal system in the long run. It could potentially reduce legal ambiguities and make it easier for people to navigate their rights and responsibilities.
That's a valid point, but let's not forget the political aspect. The issue of a uniform civil code has often been used as a political tool, and decisions related to it can be influenced by political considerations rather than the actual welfare of citizens.
I agree that politics can complicate matters. It's unfortunate when genuine discussions about citizens' rights get overshadowed by political agendas. However, if there's enough public awareness and pressure for a fair and balanced approach, it might be possible to keep the political influence in check.
You make a good case for the potential benefits of a uniform civil code. But it's also important to approach this issue with caution, considering the delicate balance between individual rights and collective cultural identity. Striking that balance won't be easy, but it's a conversation worth having.
I couldn't agree more. It's clear that finding a solution that respects both individual rights and cultural diversity is a complex challenge. But having conversations like these and hearing different perspectives is a step in the right direction. It's a sign of a healthy and democratic society that's willing to address its issues head-on.
Absolutely, and as society evolves, so do its laws. With careful thought, collaboration, and a focus on equality and justice, we can hope to shape a uniform civil code that benefits everyone without compromising on the values that make India diverse and vibrant.
Well said. It's been really enlightening discussing this with you. It just goes to show that complex issues like the uniform civil code can't be boiled down to a simple for or against. The nuances and considerations involved require thoughtful conversations and a collective effort.
I'm glad we had this conversation too. It's refreshing to have discussions that dig deep into important topics. And you're right, embracing the complexity and engaging in open dialogue is the first step towards finding solutions that work for everyone.